Hey, what's up guys and gals? My name is Ricknineg. Thank you for joining me. This is of course the second video in my whole journey of taking flying lessons. So thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't seen episode 1, you should really go back and check that out. In case you don't know, my name is Ricknineg. Thank you for joining me today. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a thumbs up if you want to see more, if you're on this journey with me. And I'm really excited. So I'm here just waiting outside. I got here a few minutes early. I took my other car, so obviously I got here a little faster. But it's always good to be early, just to let you know. So, I had a homework to do. Let me tell you a little bit about this. I'm going to do this in every episode, and that's just give you a little run through of not only just flying, but what's going on behind the scenes, because there's a lot. And so I bought this book, Pilot's Handbook of Aeronautical Knowledge. And so I was given a chapter to read, and let me tell you, that chapter was 5 pages long. Like, it wasn't even flip 5 pages, it was literally flip 5 sides. And I can tell you in all honesty, that was probably the toughest 5 pages I've ever read in terms of knowledge and understanding. Now, apparently this is basics, and I'm not ashamed to say that. I can tell you that when I was going for my master's degree in when I was in education, in theology, I was also looking at philosophy and sociology. That activates one side of the brain. This is the other side of the brain, I would say, because it's very logical. It's very like, if this happens, this happens. You know, if temperature goes up, density goes down, and so forth. Things like that. Looking at temperature, density, I was learning about viscosity and fluids, and as well as air being a fluid, things like that. Or thinking of air as a type of a fluid. Looking at the properties of a wing and why the airfoil is curved on top, straight on the bottom. So we have high pressure on the bottom, and that's because we have a constant rate of air flowing. And now the airflow on top is disrupted because of that little hump on the wing. So what happens there, we get a low pressure. So the high pressure is obviously gonna overcome the low pressure, and in the basic terms, you get lift. And so I don't know what was difficult for me. I'm usually a slow learner. It takes me a little bit to have things click, and I had to read the lesson over twice and reading over little sections many times. And so yeah, just letting you know, it was frustrating. I even had to talk with my dad to have him kind of help me out a little bit, because he's pretty much an engineer when it comes to cars and motion and things like that. So that was really helpful. But just letting you know that, you know, this isn't all roses for me. Like, I'm struggling in terms of the knowledge of getting this down, but I'm working hard and I'm trying to perfect myself as much as I can. So again, I don't want to ramble too much, but let's get over there and let's get some flying done.
I lean over right here, and I go switches off from right to left. So turn off the lights first,
okay,
all the way out there, and then turn off the switches as you get closer to yourself.
Okay.
Pop up.
Okay.
I close this.
Just feel the beat. We'll leave tonight and run free into the world.
By the way, so
What do we do? 10 hours flying?
yeah, this was a 10-hour flight.
Okay, very good. Hey everyone, I am back from my flight. I am very tired. I just felt like I ran a marathon. I'm just like drained, but it's a good drain. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to get too much on footage today. Next time I'm going to try a different method that might be a little better and just more efficient and more conductive, because obviously my training takes priority, so I know you understand that. And so if I'm holding a camera, that can kind of detach from what I'm learning and so forth. So I hope you understand that, but I just want to go over it a little bit of what happened. So Sam, great instructor, very young guy, younger than myself, but he's so good and so talented. And we did about an hour instruction inside, and we talked about different things like stall speed and different numbers, a lot of numbers. And we talked about G-forces and stress on the airplane and not driving it unnecessary, or not flying it unnecessarily fast, things like that. That was mostly on the ground. Then we did a checklist, so a safety checklist around the entire plane that the pilot, in fact, basically something he would do, but since he's teaching me, obviously, he had me do it while he was explaining it. So again, I got a little bit on camera, but it was mostly like camera and I'm doing the checklist, so it wouldn't be conductive, like I said, to learn. So I kind of dropped the camera there, and then when we got on the flight, we were just doing a lot of maneuvers. We got up over Santa Monica, California, went over Malibu, totally gorgeous, totally beautiful. We have the LAX traffic, the large airliners coming up on our left-hand side, huge jumbo jets going on that side, and we're circling around doing maneuvers and things. He let me do a lot. In fact, I was very surprised at how much he let me do. It was kind of overwhelming, but in a good way, because obviously if he didn't feel I was capable of doing it, he wouldn't have given me the task. That's how I see it. If Sam was like, hey, yeah, Rick isn't capable of doing this, why would he give it to me? Why would he trust me? If that makes sense. So he put a lot on me in a way. Like, I was in charge of the throttle, I was or the sticks, the control sticks, they're connected, so you know, he does, I do, and so forth. But like the throttle, he was hands off on it a good amount of the time. He pretty much with me, we did the takeoff together, and he was kind of hands off on it. He was kind of directing me. Landing, I did pretty much the final approach, and then coming in, he kind of took over. And then I still have to practice a lot on the ground. So kind of a funny thing, when you're on the ground, you know, when you're driving in your car, you use the steering wheel to turn, you don't use your feet. And the brakes are the top part of the pedal, and the bottom part control the rudder. And so that's something different. So there's two different functions. And so you literally have to put pressure on the top or on the bottom. Imagine your accelerator putting pressure on the top and the bottom part of the accelerator, and them doing two different things. And so that's 4 different functions that kind of run independently. So just think about that. It was just a lot, you know, but in a good way. I'm glad I didn't do the radio yet, talking to the tower. That's a little intimidating. But yeah, I'm excited. There's a lot that I feel I'm learning. And this is the second lesson. And it was funny because we landed, he said, we did 50-50. And I was like, yeah, no, I did 20, you did 80. And he was like, yeah, okay. He's like, maybe more 70-30. But anyway, I'm having fun. Like I said, next time I'm going to try a different method to get more actual footage in flight with you. I'm also trying to get some audio recorded for you so you can actually hear us talking and hear him give me some instructions. It's not going to be the whole thing, but again, these videos are going to be very different. They're going to be structured differently. Sometimes you might get a lot of talk here, sometimes you might get a lot of flight. It's just varied depending on what's happening. So thank you so much for supporting me. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. We're going to try to get you more footage next time. Don't forget to subscribe to see more, of course. And I have to read a whole lesson on the engine, about 40 pages full of information, by Tuesday. So here's to wishing me good luck. We'll see you next time, guys and gals, and don't forget, be hopeful.